All right, one of the things that comes up a lot in our office, being a sports med based office, is plantar fasciitis. This is one that you are going to find more information online and from friends, and everybody has had some version of this. First of all, there's probably about 20 different versions of plantar fasciitis. They're all connected into one big group, so there's not one treatment that's going to work. As far as what we see in our office, most of the time, just like everything that we see in our office, it's usually a muscle imbalance. So let's look at the muscles that are involved in play here. You've got your plantar muscle that's on the bottom and the whole fascia, and that's the kind of the bottom support structure of the foot. And then you've got your calf that's up here. Well, those things work together and play tug of war with the calcaneus. It's in the middle heel. So you guys are having the plantar fasciitis where it hurts on the heel. Let's make it make sense. If you've got the bottom always pulling tight and the top's always stretched, that's going to pull that thing this way, and that's a big part of what's causing the issue. If your calf is always tight and this thing's being overstretched, maybe you're wearing flip-flops every day because you live on the beach like we do, it tends to pull it the other way. And anyone that's ever had this issue for more than a couple weeks knows that sometimes this hurts and then it starts to feel better the next day and this gets tight. And it even goes all the way up to the lower back. We tend to look at this as a triad of things: the plantar fascia, the calf hypertonicity, and the lower back and pelvis and how that's functioning. So treatment is, I have rules with this thing. I really don't like you wearing flip-flops when you have a plantar fascia issue, because every time you take a step, that foot has to contract a little bit to pull the flip-flop up a little bit. That is a contraction about 1,600 times a mile, and you're probably walking more than a mile. If you came in here and you hurt your shoulder and I said I wanted you to do a bicep curl 1,600 times a day, you would never expect this thing to get better. And that's a big part of it. It's not that flip-flops are bad. I like flip-flops, I wear them, but they don't work when you're having a plantar fascia issue. So I like those things out of there. The other big thing to think about is this foot is built in over 20 pieces. It's supposed to be super mobile. So we look at joints as which joints are supposed to be mobile, which joints are supposed to be stable. And it happens throughout the body. Shoulders are supposed to be mobile, thoracic and lower back are supposed to be stable. We want this thing moving, and that's why I don't really like orthotics. The last time we filmed a video about plantar fasciitis, I didn't really want to come out and say it because I didn't want to upset anyone, because I know a lot of people sell orthotics, but I want this thing mobile and I want it functioning. So we get in there and really do tons of chiropractic work, moving all these individual joints, especially navicular, which sits in here, talus, which has to move for proper ankle function, then we got to get in here and work the calcaneus. I also like to use some of these tools that we use. You guys have heard about these tools. They're Graston tools, factored tools. There's 100 different brands of tools now. We get in here, use a little bit of our lubrication, or I use BioFreeze, and we get in there and we strip that plantar fascia out. If that thing is on fire, you're not going to like me when we do this stuff. But it really helps to kind of loosen that thing up so when we make the adjustments, you're going to hold. I would also have you flip over. Go ahead. And we really want to work out the calf. In my opinion, the calf seems to do much better with manual myofascial work. So we use our thumbs, we use our hands, we get in here and work these calves out. I want these two guys playing on the same page. Then the adjustments are easy. Move this thing, come up here, check upstream, make sure that everything's working through the SI joint, the hips. Make sure she's going back at it. The other thing that you almost have to do with the plantar fasciitis is put the inflammation out on this. The itis part of fasciitis means it's on fire, it's inflamed. Advil and Aleve don't work real good for this area. I think probably just because it's far away from the body, it just doesn't seem to work. So I love a frozen water bottle, especially one that's got contours and all little edges in it. And Brittany would be instructed, you need to roll that thing back and forth every single day. People ask me how much success I have with plantar fascia. It's probably only about 50% of my clients that come in here because nobody wants to do the homework on this stuff. If people would go home and spend 2 weeks is all of 10 minutes of work that they need to do on it every single day, keep that thing mobile, there's ways to move the feet, there's ways to get that thing going and get the ice and the restriction out of there, you're going to respond well. Typically we get these things nearly always better in probably 3 to 4 visits over the course of 3 to 4 weeks. It's a really easy function, you just have to do your homework on it.